Johnson with a blitz coming, and he almost, maybe he did throw a pick. Batty!
That's BYU's Tyler Batty, the only defensive lineman in the nation with 2 interceptions, is now joining the show. How you doing today, man? Tell me about that moment. What is it like to have 2 interceptions, the only defensive lineman this past season? The Jazz are in Portland taking on the Blazers. Both teams are at the bottom of the Northwest Division. The Jazz blew out the Blazers in their last matchup, 141-99. Tonight, no Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, or Keontae George.
In sports, Lenard Davis is in the building tonight with some highlights from today's games. Hey, Lenard.
Hey, Jamie. With a win today, the Lions can clinch their first division title since 1993. Yes, I was 2 years old at the time, and that would mark the first time ever the Detroit Lions would win the NFC North since it was created in 2002. They visit the Vikings for the first time this season. Now we're going to get a little deep. There was a point in your life where you had an accident and it almost cost you your life. And now you're at a point where you're about to chase your NFL dreams. Very relatable to me. I was a student athlete in college, and I had, I'm a gunshot victim, shot 3 times, and could have took my life, and it altered my playing career in my college. And thank God I'm here, interviewing you. And so, but what was it like, during that time to persevere, especially at such a young age?
First of all, I got to up my wardrobe game.
Yeah, you do.
I appreciate the compliments. I really do. It's
Sports
so early.
producer Lenard Davis Jr. is here to talk all about March Madness. So you got to go to BYU when they were making the announcement yesterday?
I did. I was there doing multiple duties. I handled the CBS network broadcast live feed. So if you watched it, that was my shot that you saw.
That's so cool.
It looked great.
Yeah, and thank you. I appreciate it.
That'll go down in history.
It did. It did. It did because, as you know, BYU normally don't hold sporting events on Sunday.
Right.
So I was lucky to be there. It was great. It was awesome.
So did you arrange that for them to meet on Sunday?
You know what? Let's just say I did. Welcome to the NFL Draft Special on KNYU. I am Lenard Davis Jr. And before we bring in our first guest, I gotta take you down memory lane of his playing days at Rice-Eccles Stadium.
Just on a personal level, no, I don't think the Cinderella idea is done.
And you got to hand it to Coach Young there. He's done an amazing job with these guys.
He's doing a great job. And I was listening to some interviews yesterday, and Keith Keita said it himself. It's about the brotherhood, and usually the teams that make it this far, especially the teams that shock some guys, is because of their brotherhood. It's because it's a family. And so I believe that that's what they have down there. And for Coach Young to do that in his first season speaks volumes on his character as a coach and as a man.
They inspire each other.
Very much so.
When it's a team like that.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Tight-knit group. Here
with us this morning to
you.
talk a little bit of the Sweet 16 game.
Well, they made it.
I know, that is so cool.
That is awesome.
Yes.
And
First time since 2011.
they just might beat Alabama.
They might just. There's a strong chance. They show that they can take out a top seed in Wisconsin, and that's what it's all about, taking out the competition and the guys that you might not think is going to give you the run for your money, and BYU gave them a run for their money.
March Madness.
Is this a Cinderella story, or I think just BYU's just plain good?
If they beat Alabama, it's officially a Cinderella story.
Yeah, that's true.
And Bryson Barnes at quarterback. Look to set up a screen. Wide open, Jalen Royals.
That's Utah State wide receiver Jalen Royals, the highest projected local player to hear his name called in this year's NFL Draft. Our very own Dave Fox on the call. Royals had a really good performance in the NFL Combine, ran a 4.42. Reminds me a lot of Atlanta Falcons legend Roddy White. And getting drafted or entering the league undrafted is a blessing nonetheless. But sometimes you end up in a city or state that you're not familiar with. What advice do you have for rookies when it comes to getting drafted or entering the league in foreign territory?
Yeah, I mean, find guys that are, who have a very long tenure